On behalf of the General Assembly, I have the honor to welcome to the United Nations His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, and to invite him to address the Assembly.
Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, President of the General Assembly, Mr. Secretary General, Honorable Ministers, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to congratulate you, Mr. President, on your election to lead the General Assembly during the 71st session. The theme of the Assembly is, in quotes, the Sustainable Development Goals, a universal push to transform our world. This is a good topic. It adds another nail in the coffin of the old parasitic arrangement where only a small portion of humanity, those living in the United States of America, Canada, Western Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, lived in affluence while the rest of the world lived in abject poverty. The reasoning then was as if one could not be affluent without doing so at the expense of somebody else. This logic has now been challenged. Since 1981 to 2010, 380 million and 207 million people in China and India, respectively, have come out of poverty. Even in Africa, a continent with a lot of accumulated disadvantages, 414 million people have come out of poverty. In Uganda's case, by 2004, 56% of the people were living in poverty. Today, that figure is 19%. It is hoped that by 2017, it will be reduced to 10%. Isn't the world a better place with this spread of affluence? Haven't the old affluent societies and the new ones both benefited? The United States is today exporting goods and services to China worth US dollars 120 billion per year. The European Union is exporting goods and services to China worth US dollars 356 billion. Hasn't the spread of affluence benefited more people? The SDGs understood this very well. There are 17 of them, and they are: end poverty in all its forms everywhere, end hunger, ensure healthy lives, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education, and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, achieve gender equality. All the 17 SDGs as you know them. I don't have to read them because you know them. All this is a different way of diagnosing and providing a prescription for the problems of underdevelopment. We are happy, at last, the global agenda captures most of the ingredients necessary for growth and transformation of societies, as happened in the past for those societies that pioneered the Industrial Revolution. In particular, the inclusion of energy on the list of the SDGs is a departure from the past global agendas. These SDGs fractionate and put differently many of our own 10 strategic bottlenecks. These are ideological disorientation, a weak state, especially the army, that needed restructuring, the suppression of the private sector, the underdevelopment of the human resource, i.e. lack of education and health, the underdevelopment of the infrastructure, i.e. the railways, the roads, electricity, the telephones, piped water, etc., a small internal market, lack of industrialization, the underdevelopment of the services sector, the underdevelopment of agriculture, and the attack on democracy. As you can see, there are two crucial bottlenecks that are missing in the SDGs. These are ideological disorientation, which for us is bottleneck number 1, and market integration, which is bottleneck number 6. One can, of course, say that the idea of ideological disorientation is subsumed in SDG number 16, that of peace, justice, and strong institutions. Nevertheless, there is no harm in singling out and highlighting this problem of the pseudo-ideology that exploits identities of people, i.e. religion, tribe, race, gender, etc., and eclipses the interests of the people, such as balanced trade, to give an example. That equal relationship between the producer of a good and the producer of a service and the buyer of the same, both in ancient times and modern times, is the greatest stimulus to global prosperity. This, however, is many times eclipsed by the shallow promotion of chauvinism of religion, tribe, race, or gender, even when one's religion mates, tribe mates, race mates are doing nothing or little for one's prosperity. Yet the recent growth through trade by China, India, etc., in the interaction with the United States of America, with the European Union, with Africa, etc., shows the power of this stimulus. Let the global body, therefore, understand and blacklist this pseudo-ideology of sectarianism and chauvinism of groups. All the past mistakes and the present ones are linked to this problem. Imperialism, slave trade, colonialism, neocolonialism, the ongoing sectarian conflicts in many parts of the world, all in one way or another spring from this pseudo-ideology. The fair and authentic ideology of being my brother's keeper, as it says in the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 9, is the true antidote to this poison. Abandon all forms of chauvinism and the world will be safer for everybody. In my dialect we say, Karashangabo imurasha. The one who shoots arrows at others should expect arrows to come his way. End of quotes. Finally, our bottleneck number 6, the bottleneck of fragmented markets in Africa, possibly also in other places, should also be addressed. It is easy to trade with China, with India, with the United States, with Russia, with Brazil, or Indonesia, because there are markets of 1.3 billion, 1.2 billion, 150 million, 200 million, and 200 million respectively, because they are societies under one political authority each. We and the others that have got fragmented markets must struggle to rectify this deficiency. In Africa, we are already moving. Hence, our East African community, our common market for Eastern, Central, and Southern Africa, our SADC, common market of Southern Africa, our common market of West Africa, and ultimately, the common market of the whole of Africa, as we agreed recently in Kigali, Rwanda. These markets are taking us in the right direction. Remember that when I buy what is produced by your factory, I am supporting your prosperity. And when you buy what I produce, you are supporting my prosperity. Long live the SDGs, but please do not forget to add the bottlenecks observed by us above. I thank you.